Greetings. On behalf of the City of Durham's Department of Water Management, thank you for taking time to join us for this presentation that provides an overview of the lead and copper rule improvements. My name is Ayana Hernandez, and I serve as the Public Information and Communications Specialist for the Department of Water Management and the Lead and Copper Rule Program. Next slide, please. The Department of Water Management is guided by one goal: to provide Durham residents with cost-effective water and wastewater services that meet your expectations, as well as comply with all state and federal guidelines and requirements. You should be assured that we work hard to fulfill our commitment to protect public health. Next. This presentation will cover the following items: lead and copper rule updates, the service line materials inventory, our predictive model, the service line notification letters, the health effects of lead, our next steps, the customer service line identification process, and we will end by providing our contact information should you have any questions. The lead and copper rule was introduced by the Environmental Protection Agency in 1991 to limit the levels of lead and copper in public drinking water. The regulation required water systems to monitor lead and copper and to take steps to reduce corrosion of plumbing materials that can release lead into drinking water. The lead and copper rule revisions were issued in 2021 to strengthen public health protections and address lessons learned from events like the Flint water crisis. The rule was further modified in October of 2024 to simplify compliance, increase transparency, and require replacement of lead and copper certain galvanized pipes. Next. There are 6 primary requirements resulting from the lead and copper rule revision and improvements. They are: number 1, a material inventory of all water service lines. The initial water service line inventory was due in October 2024. An update of the service line inventory is due in 2027 and then annually until 2037. Number 2, development of a replacement plan to address all lead service lines and certain galvanized steel service lines within 10 years, starting in 2028. Number 3, completion of water quality sampling at compliance points. And number 4, school and daycare sampling using revised methods and limits. Number 5, corrosion control treatment to minimize the leaching of metals. And number 6, providing public education and outreach. I will now turn it over to Harmon Henderson.
Thank you, Ayana. I am Harmon Henderson. I act as the City of Durham's project manager for the lead and copper program. This schematic shows what we mean by water service lines. Within the City of Durham, drinking water is pumped from the water treatment plants throughout the city through water mains. Water mains are typically located in the streets or public right-of-ways. Water service lines are the small pipes that take water from the water main to the customer's residence or business through the water meter. The city owns and maintains the water service line from the water main to the water meter, and the customer owns and maintains the water service line from the water meter to the building. The EPA rule requires the inventory to include the material for both the city-owned public service lines and the customer-owned private service lines. Next. The service line inventory categorizes pipe materials as shown here. Materials include lead, galvanized steel, non-lead, unknown not lead, and unknown potentially lead. Non-lead includes materials like plastic, copper, and ductile iron. Unknown not lead means the city does not know the exact material of the service line, but we know it is not lead because it was installed after lead pipes were banned in 1986. Actually, the city is using 1988 as the cutoff date for the lead ban in order to catch any service lines that may have been installed during the transition period. Unknown potentially lead means the material is unknown and records show that it was installed before the lead ban. Therefore, it could potentially be lead. And galvanized steel is called out separately. This is because the EPA defines a category called galvanized requiring replacement. These are customer-owned galvanized steel service lines that are currently or at any time in the past may have been downstream of a city-owned lead service line. The concern is that these galvanized pipes may have absorbed lead over time and may be a source of lead in the future. Next. As required by the lead and copper rule revisions, the City of Durham's initial service line inventory was submitted to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality in October of 2024. Shortly thereafter, in November of 2024, the city sent out notification letters to all customers with lead, galvanized requiring replacement, or unknown service lines. At that time, there were 0 customers with lead service lines, 34 customers with galvanized requiring replacement service lines, and over 54,000 customers with unknown service lines. The city is continuously updating the inventory as inspections are completed and additional data becomes available. We are preparing an updated inventory to be submitted to the Department of Environmental Quality in 2027 as required by the lead and copper rule improvements. The current inventory is available to the public online. A QR code to the website is provided later in this presentation. Next. You may be curious as to how the service line inventory was created. First, it was a desktop exercise. The city and our consultants collected and reviewed records from various sources to determine when pipes were installed and what materials were used. We then used visual observations to verify the line materials. In 2025, the city started using a predictive model developed by our consultants to help with the water service inventory. I will now turn it over to Dave Malinakis with CDM Smith to describe the predictive modeling process. Next.
Thank you, Harmon. As mentioned, I'm Dave Malinakis, a project manager for CDM Smith, who has been assisting the city with this project. And I'll discuss predictive modeling activity being performed for the project. In October 2025, the city began using results from a predictive model to categorize unknown services as non-lead if they are predicted to have a very low probability of being made of lead or galvanized steel. This program looks at all the information we have, like the age of a house, the age of the pipes in the neighborhood, and what materials were used in the past. It uses these clues to predict which homes are most likely to have lead or galvanized steel water lines. Following guidance from the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, if the program predicts a less than 10% likelihood that a pipe is made of lead or galvanized steel, we mark it as non-lead. The city is using the predictive model to guide our field investigations and efficiently locate galvanized water pipes. Most importantly, this program is always learning and getting smarter. Every time our crews check a pipe in the real world, they feed that new information back into the program. This makes the program's predictions more and more accurate. Because the program is always being updated, our numbers will change. A home that is unknown today might get an updated prediction in the future as the program learns more. This is a good thing. It means our information is getting better every day. Next. As you can see here, we are going to discuss some of the model results or how to interpret them. When you look at our online map, you might see a category called unknown, not lead, and a method of predictive model. This means that the model has looked at that specific address and predicted there is a 10% or less chance that the pipe is lead or galvanized steel. And you can see these results for every single home. We've put all this information into our online inventory that is available to the public. With that being said, I'll pass it over to Joe and we can go to the next slide.
Thank you, Dave. In December 2025, the city will be mailing out updated inventory notification letters. For 2025, there are still 0 lead service lines. There are 135 customers that will receive galvanized requiring replacement notifications, and just over 25,000 customers will receive letters stating that their water service line material is unknown. The notification letters will have relevant information, including the service address, the service line material, the health effects of lead, how to mitigate lead exposure, how to identify a water service line material if it is unknown, and the contact information for the city. All information will be provided in English and Spanish. This is an excerpt for a galvanized requiring replacement notification letter. As previously noted, a galvanized requiring replacement service line is a private side service line that is or was downstream of a lead public service line or is downstream of an unknown public service line. In 2025, there are 135 galvanized requiring replacement service lines. The city is in the process of developing a service line replacement program. If you receive this letter, your property will be included as part of the plan, and we will provide more information regarding the replacement plan as it is available. If a property owner would like to replace their service line immediately, please work with a licensed plumber to do the replacement. And if you are planning on replacing the portion of the service line that you own, please notify us at the phone number or email provided on the last slide. This is an excerpt of the unknown notification letter. In 2025, there are just over 25,000 service lines of unknown material in the Durham water system. Customers with unknown service lines will receive a letter letting them know the service line material is unknown and how they can inspect the service line themselves or request a free inspection from the city. As a follow-up, there is no lead in the water leaving our water treatment plants. A list of the health effects of lead are listed on the screen. They can also be found on our website at leadsafedurham.org. If you're concerned about lead in your drinking water, there are some steps you can use to reduce the potential of lead in your drinking water. You can use a filter, but you must use it properly. Using a filter can reduce lead in drinking water. If you do use a filter, it should be certified to remove lead, which is the NSF 53 certified filter. Visit the EPA's website using the QR code noted on the screen. We'll leave it up for a few seconds so you have time to capture it. You should clean your aerator. Every 3 months, remove and clean your faucet screen, also known as an aerator. Sediment, debris, and lead particles can collect in your aerator. If lead particles are caught in the aerator, lead can get into your water. Use cold water. Do not use hot water from the tap for drinking, cooking, or making baby formula, as lead dissolves more easily into hot water. Boiling water does not remove lead from water. It is safe to shower, wash dishes, and do laundry with hot water from the tap. Lead does not affect humans through the skin. Run your water before using. The more time water has been sitting in pipes providing water to your homes, the more lead it could possibly contain. Before drinking it, flush your home's pipes by running the tap, taking a shower, doing laundry, doing a load of dishes, or watering plants. For typical residential services, flush water through your plumbing by running cold water for 5 minutes each morning, or if your water in your home has not been used in more than 6 hours. Please visit leadsafedurham.org to check the status of your water service line materials. We encourage customers whose service lines are noted as unknown to conduct a self-inspection. If your home was built prior to 1988, you may qualify for a $30 water bill rebate. If your service line is listed as known, it's not eligible for the credit. Please note, if you have a slab-on-grade foundation, you will be unable to do a self-inspection and should request a pothole inspection. More information on the bill credit will be provided in a moment. To have your water tested, contact Durham Water at 919-560-1200 for free water testing and to learn more about the lead levels in your drinking water. Alternatively, you may contact a certified laboratory to have your water tested for lead. Please note, a water sample may not adequately capture or represent all sources of lead that may be present. For information on sources of lead that include service lines and interior plumbing, please visit the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's website. Get your child tested to determine lead levels in their blood. A family doctor or pediatrician can perform a blood test for lead and provide information about the health effects of lead. State, city, or county departments of health can also provide information about how you can have your child's blood tested for lead. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, recommend public health actions when the level of lead in a child's blood is 3.5 micrograms per deciliter or more. For more information, please visit the Durham County website about childhood lead poisoning. And here's more information about the $30 water bill credit. To qualify for the bill credit, we need pictures that show where the service line enters the building. Look at your water meter. The service line should be a direct path into your house. If you qualify and your inspection is validated, it will take between 30 to 60 days for the credit to appear on your statement. This bill credit sunsets on December 31st, 2027. Please scan the QR code on your screen for more information. This information is also available at leadsafedurham.org. Our ultimate goal is to protect public health. The more we know, the better we can protect. Thank you for watching this presentation. Here's how to contact us should you have any questions. Visit our website at leadsafedurham.org. Or you can email us at leadsafedurham@durhamnc.gov. Or you can call 984-242-3012. Thank you for viewing this presentation. Have a good day.